guys. I apologize for that. So we're going to go into the next round as well, pick out what's going on. It's good to see that we have so much of a turnout from the 4 Aspenwood server, as well as the normal, I'd say, North American PvP faces. Isn't that right, Blue?
Indeed.
All right, so we do have the next match, next person coming into this next team rather coming into this tournament is going to be the return of Tempest, and that's a team, I think it was a Brazilian team. They used to be around as Who My Cat, if I'm not mistaken. I casted them once in I think it was one of the SOAC Weekly tournaments actually, Blue.
I can't actually recall that, but yeah, interesting name to say the least there. But again, I actually have never seen these guys play before. I don't think I've ever seen a South American team play in a competitive circuit, so it's going to be interesting to see how they fare out, obviously, in this tournament here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Now we're going to see who goes up with them in just a second here as I pull out more names. And that is going to be Nightshade in June, one of 2 Japanese teams coming into this. It's going to be pretty sick. Of course, Nightshade in June is joined by Strange World as the Japanese representatives playing on the North American server, Blue.
Indeed, as we saw, those teams, or at least Strange World has been playing has played in the Thermaltake tournament, which we did a few months ago, and performed fairly well. I believe it was a top 4 finish at the very least there. So obviously they're a pretty good team. They're going to have that lag that they're going to have to deal with on the NA server, but they have come over it before, going against some NA teams in the tournament queue. So we're going to have to see how they apply it here in the upcoming tournament.
That's right, Blue. Of course, Bagsley, have you heard anything from June as well?
I know they're a Japanese guild. I don't know too much about them. I haven't seen them play, though.
All right, awesome. So we're going to keep going as we go into this, man. The next spot to be filled, just going to mess around in this jar here. It's going to be Good Fights featuring Genyin, Kensuda, and the crew. Good Fights, another team that is a veteran of the MLG Invitational, also a very good mainstay of the North American scene here. These guys, they're strong. They came in swinging in the first round. They took out, they took some games off of Car Crash, and then due to disconnect and also due to their wins, they ended up taking out Car Crash, if I'm not mistaken.
It did, actually, and they ended up moving on. Unfortunately, losing to Sync, but I think that was a pretty good set as well. We had some close games there.
That's right. Now let's pick out who their competitors will be in round 1. It's going to be Strange World, Blue.
Oh boy, Strange World indeed.
That's going to be a huge fight, man. Strange World is a very strong team, and not many people realize this because they don't really show up in many tournaments due to the lag and such. So we'll have to see if they can account for the lag that they do have, and if they can come out on top, of course. Strange World is a team that is they're very well known within the Asian scene. They actually have other teams that have formed referencing their players. For example, MFC, one of the Chinese teams, or I'm not sure if they're Taiwanese or Chinese, they're the Mario fan club. One of the members of Strange World is a female player named Mario, and they're her fan club, and they're also a very strong competitive team to boot.
I think I have some I don't think Mario is actually playing with him anymore. A very unfortunate turn of events. It's the last time I saw them playing at least. They could be wrong in this, but I believe Mario has retired. It's very unfortunate to see the loss of such a famed player in the Asian Guild Wars 2 scene. And actually, just to correct something we said earlier, Good Fights actually ended up losing to Denial in the MLG Invitational, not Sync.
Okay. Well, we should know that because we casted that tournament, but we came close. Honestly, everything in that tournament, if you haven't checked out the VODs, please do so. If you love Guild Wars 2, it's very good. But we're going to check out who's coming up next, and it's going to be Aftershock Gaming, filling out the 4th to last slot here, guys. Coming into this, we're going to go ahead and pop that in. Aftershock Gaming. I'm not very familiar with these guys. They did send us a bio, if I'm not mistaken. I will go ahead and read. Oops, I'm going to pull this over here. And we're going to read off what they sent us. They started in the early days of the beta with intentions of getting heavily involved in PvP, but unfortunately one thing led to the other, and they became a sort of PvE and PvX focused guild. But they're here. They want to get back into PvP, and they want to start making waves in the esports scene, Blue.
Sounds like they're very devoted indeed, but we're going to have to see how they fare against their opponent, which you're about to select right now, Sire.
And I did. And this is a team called The Legacy. Now, this is a team, oh man, you know, I think I've actually seen them around here not very often, but around nonetheless. Bagsley, tell us about the Legacy if you can.
I believe they're based off the Obey Guild. They're a PvE guild in Fort Aspen once again.
All right. Well, guys, we're down to the last 2 slots in the bracket here, so I'm going to pull them out right now. but I think it's time. Before we do this, let's go ahead and pick a winner off Twitter. Is that okay? Can we do that, Bagsley?
I'm sorry?
Can we pick a winner off the Twitter?
Yep.
Awesome.
Just give me a second. I'll pick one right now.
We're going to wait for the VVV guys to pull the winner off Twitter. Those of you guys who tweeted, thank you very, very much. We're going to wait because I have in my hand the slips of paper that have the names, and oh my god, this is pretty good. Also, for those of you guys keeping track, there was a team list published on the Guild Wars 2 forums. You can probably tell which teams are left here. But yes, we're gonna wait for the Guild Wars 2 Twitter giveaway. We're giving away, I think it's 50 gold right now.
And we have our winner, I believe.
We do.
Yes. Is that his Twitter handle, Bagsley?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm gonna put the link here in the chat so everybody can see.
So our winner is going to be at Mex868. That is once again at Mex MEX868. You are our winner. Bags, I believe we're going to be direct messaging him to give him the code, or are we going to shout out for him in the chat here, or how are we going to be handling this?
I'll just have him post up his account name, and then I'll send him a mail.
Make sure you also follow VVV Gaming on Twitter. Make sure so you can get the overall, I guess, contact information smorgasbord, and so that we can keep in contact with you and get you your gold, guys. But the 2 final teams are 2 Metas Ahead Pro and Might Makes You Right. Another MLG veteran coming into this, going up against someone that I'm actually not too familiar with.
I actually know who this is.
Really?
These are actually guild mates of mine, at least some of them are. Might Makes You Right is coming out of partially players that are from a guild called... Oh my god, I forgot my own guild name. Apologies.
Is it Time?
Never Enough Time, that's it. I had a brain fart there. But anyway, they're coming... most of their members are coming from a guild called Never Enough Time. There's actually an alliance they're in, and they pulled a bunch of members out of that to play in this. So they do have a mix of both GBG, World v World, and SPVP experience coming into this. So it's going to be interesting to see how they play. I did watch some of their scrims earlier this week. They didn't fare too well, but they have been making a lot of adjustments. So maybe they're going to be able to turn that around and come into this a lot stronger as we go into this tournament this week. But I'm actually going to be rooting for these guys because these are pretty good friends of mine. So I actually want to see how far they're able to get.
You're going to be biased, Blue. You're going to be rooting for your PvE friends. I see how it is. No, it's hard to stay impartial as a caster. It really is. But I think that, isn't Wooden Potatoes in that guild as well?
Yeah, Wooden Potatoes.
It's Wooden Potatoes Guild. And you.
World of Enders.
And World of Enders. So it's a big star-studded PvE guild, I guess. But the question is, can they pull it out in PvP? This is a totally different world, Blue, as you know.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so actually, let's go ahead. Let's look at the bracket one more time here, and let's see. Blue, going into this, let's look at the path people will have to take here. FML versus VVV, this matchup right here, that's going to be a hard one in the beginning for both of those teams. Wow.
I'm actually quite interested to see how APS versus TCSG goes there.
Really?
Because that's going to be interesting to see, because we do have a bit of a... Because if we've read the profiles correctly, APS is coming into this with GBG experience, whereas TCSG is coming into this with... the SPVP side of this. So it's going to be interesting to see how the GVG and SPVP sides clash there in that first game. That's the game I have my eyes on, just to see how that one goes.
I think you may be right with that as well. Of course, going into the next match, FML versus VVV, both of those teams coming out of the MLG Guild Wars 2 Invitational. Kind of an unlucky draw, I would say, as they're both very, very strong teams. I don't know who I would actually have coming out on top there. Sync versus D's Nuts Gaming. Of course, I mean, this is going to be a hugely hard path for pretty much everyone here in the bracket. It's very stacked.
Mm-hmm. I can definitely agree with that. I want to see as well how the Asian teams fare up against this.
Yes.
June and a Strange World, considering the fact that they are going to be coming up against considerable lag, with the fact that they're playing on an NA server from over there in Japan, from that region, obviously. So that is going to be a factor that works against them. However, Obviously, if they are skilled enough and they have those builds, which we have seen some very interesting builds which have worked quite well from these Japanese teams, maybe they can catch them on. Maybe they can catch them by surprise here and actually pull out a couple wins. Maybe pull out the whole tournament. Who knows?
Yeah, man, they do pull out those crazy strategies. You know, we saw some interesting turret play with them, I think, last time.
Yeah.
Managing to get some turrets on top of there are 2 posts in the keep on Forest that they got turrets on top of, and I still don't know how they did that. But, you know, assuming that that they can progress, they actually will have to face each other in the second round if they can get past good fights, if they can get past Tempest, and actually, that is easier said than done to a major degree.
Mm-hmm.
And man, so guys, I think I have no idea who I think will pull this through. Of course, if you have an idea on who you're rooting for and who you think is gonna pull this out, go ahead and tweet at me. I'm at MLG Cyrif. Tweet it at Dr_Blue there. And guys, I think that's it for us. We do have to give a huge thanks to VVV Gaming for putting on this tournament, for bringing us out to bring you these action-packed brackets here. We'll be posting this bracket here on Reddit and on the Guild Wars 2 forums as well. And we'd also like to thank SteelSeries and ArenaNet for helping us and being amazing companies in this scene as well. Blue, is there anything you have to plug for yourself?
No, I think that's actually it. Just, check out my stream as well, my Twitter, at Dr_Blue, as you told me, or as you actually said a few minutes ago on my stream too, twitch.tv/BLU42.
Bagsley, what about yourself?
I just want to thanks everybody for watching. I really appreciate all the support everybody has given me, from ANET to VV, and I'm hoping that this tournament turns out to be something everybody enjoys watching.
I agree entirely. Of course, you can follow me here at MLG Cyrif, or go subscribe to me on YouTube at youtube.com/CyrifSC. And of course, I might be streaming eventually, but a big thanks to VVV again, and thank you guys for coming out. So, from all of us here, good night, have some fun, play some Guild Wars.